All right, we are here. We are live on the Sports Animal YouTube, Facebook. I'm Preston Poole. That is Tyler Adams. Teabag. Follow us on X at Preston Poole 405, at Tyler's Takes, at Unadvised Pod is the podcast account. If you haven't seen the video we put out on the Sports Animal YouTube, go watch that from Media Day with the Thunder. And yes, we know the mics were terrible. I did the mistake, Teabag, of reading comments, which you should never do.
Yeah, I did that too. He
But
said great content, at least.
Yeah.
He gave us good content, but,
They were $20 mics on Amazon. We're balling on a budget over here. All right. So
you got to start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. But all right, let's get into it. I mean, there's a Thursday night football game getting ready to start. What are your thoughts on the Bucks and the Falcons?
I love the over in this game.
What is it?
I got a 44.
Okay.
So I love the over this game. I think we're going to see some points here. I like the Bucks straight up too, just plus 2.5 in money line as well. I think I know the Falcons are different right now with Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins. It's not like the same old Falcons and stuff, but I just still can't trust them. And this has been the Bucks division for so long that I just have to put that into the equation. So I just like the Bucks straight out in this game.
Yeah. And outside of one game, they've been one of the best teams in the NFL all season so far. Mm-hmm. The game against the Broncos that they lost was bad, but I mean, Baker's been great the rest of the season. So have the Buccaneers. So yeah, I'm with you. Give me the Buccaneers, even though this is being played in Atlanta. By the way, did you see the video of Baker Mayfield going like undercover in disguise at practice?
No, I did not see that.
I don't see how any of those ever work because you can clearly tell that's Baker Mayfield. It's just the same with like Eli Manning going undercover at Penn State, I think it was. You can clearly tell that that's Eli Manning outside of like the gigantic nose they put on. But I mean, you can tell that that's him.
There's also the guy for the old Cubs player, Chris. What was his name? He's on the World Series team.
Chris Bryant.
Oh, gosh, Chris Bryant. Yes, yeah. Exactly. He did that on the JUCO one time. Like, yeah, we got this guy coming in, and he did it on the JUCO, and it was even me. He doesn't know the ins and outs of baseball stuff. It's like you can just tell that that's a like high end professional baseball player.
Yes. Speaking of that, you just brought up this thing that I've been struggling with on TikTok. There's this kid. I don't know how old he is, but he's got to be the most stiff person in the world, like zero athletic, bones in his body, and he's trying to play base. No, it's not. He's not like really a kid, but he's, I don't know, teenager to like maybe early 20s. He's been trying to play baseball for like 5 years now on TikTok, and he's still just the worst I've ever seen. But I'll have to
serious like with it.
Yes, he's 100% serious, and everyone's like, "Dude, just quit." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna make it to Texas A&M." It's like, "No, you're not, dude." Like I played baseball my whole life, and your movement is just terrible. All right, let's go ahead and get into Oklahoma State taking on West Virginia this weekend up in Stillwater. Oklahoma State is a 3-point favorite in that one. My first point here: no excuses. You got to win this game.
Yeah, this is a. I would put this in the must-win category, Preston.
Must win, can't lose.
I was talking this morning about it, and I even had a private conversation with with Coach Jones off the air about the game, and we were just talking about it. I was like, one, I think Oklahoma State is going to win this game because as much as we've ripped this team, and as much as I've ripped this team, I still think they're a decent football team. Like I don't think they're just some terrible football team. I still think they're decent, as in like they're an 8-win football team. So I mean, You're not great, but you're not bad either. And I think with the veteran leadership that they have, and then Mike Gundy at the realm, I don't foresee them losing 3 in a row. But it's not going to shock me at the same time if they do find a way to lose. Like I'm not going to leave that stadium just stunned, like how'd they lose to West Virginia? Because I can see a world where West Virginia does win this game. I think they're going to be able to run the ball on Oklahoma State. The West Virginia radio guy was on with Marky and Kale yesterday, and he was just saying, they can run the ball. They got 2 really good running backs, and that's been an issue in Oklahoma State's all season for Oklahoma State, but primarily in their 2 losses to Kansas State has been the rush defense. So I'm not going to be shocked if OSU loses this game, but I do think that Oklahoma State will prevail in this game, and I'll leave it at this: if OSU loses, it's gonna get real ugly in Stillwater.
Yeah, it'll be well, it's an 11 a.m. game, but if they lose, it'll be real dark in Stillwater.
It'll be
Real,
3 p.m.
real dark. 3 p.m. Okay.
Yeah,
Either way, it's gonna get real dark. All the fans are they might riot up there
I'm
in
also excited to
Stillwater.
see like what the crowd is going to be because I know it'll be like I don't think it'll be like every single seat is full. Like I'm sure you'll be able to see some empty seats here and there, but I still think it's going to be 85-90% full because the game's already sold out. I don't see like why you would just like not like just go to the game.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be a good crowd. I don't think it's going to be a good crowd in the sense it's going to be a rowdy crowd. That's for
Yeah.
sure. It might be one of the most full, boring, like full/boring games that Boone Pickens Stadium's ever had. Because usually the boring games just really aren't that full. This one I think is going to be full, and I don't think it's going to get really that loud at all because I just don't. There's nothing to get excited for right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Is there a chance we see someone other than Alan Bowman at quarterback in this ball game?
No, I really don't think so. Mike
And
Gundy
I
doubled
kind
down
of
on Alan
agree with you.
Bowman this last week. Yeah, like we. Why would I say it's almost like it would be insane at this point, Preston, just be like, yeah, we're going to see Zane Flores in this game. Like we'd almost be like insane to see that. Insane
Yeah.
to see that. No, I think it's gonna be Alan Bowman, unless he just goes out there and plays absolutely terrible. But I don't think he's gonna play good. But I don't think he's just gonna play like dog crap.
He's gonna be Alan Bowman, is what he's gonna be.
It's exactly. He's gonna have 300 yards passing and like 2 touchdowns, but he's also gonna have like 7 to 10 throws. Where you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. If things don't go right on offense, do you think Mike Gundy would ever take over as the play caller?
I think yeah. I think
So
he could.
say like they lose
I
this
think
one and going in the offense just is not productive and he's kind of, fed up with it, right? And he just says, "All right, Casey Dunn, you sit up there in the press box, um, do your thing, but I'm calling the plays."
I'll take you one further, Preston. I think if Oklahoma State's offense is stalemate again this week, I wouldn't be shocked if Casey Dunn's fired.
Really? And
I don't think so. I don't think so because you don't really see coordinators just getting fired too often in the middle of the season.
yeah,
Maybe like a head coach does because coordinators don't really just necessarily like rally the troops like a head coach can. But I think Mike Gundy is very fed up with what's going on right now. He's thrown Casey Dunn under the bus a couple times already. Last week was pretty disgusting. Uh, I don't think Mike Gundy is happy at all with the offense. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying I'm not going to be surprised if we see a tweet from Marshall Scott breaking news that they have, released Casey Dunn of his duties.
yeah, and that's something that I was gonna ask, but I didn't know if you even thought that might be something that could happen, which we'll see. We'll see. I don't think that, like you said, I don't think that would happen, but it would definitely. I mean, it wouldn't shock me
It's
if
also
it did.
so easy to pinpoint this offense and like how underwhelming it's been. But this defense just sucks. Like that's no one really talks enough about how this defense is
Yeah.
just absolutely terrible.
Well, and I think that's because you have an offense with Ollie Gordon and all those receivers, and then
Yeah,
you throw out Alan Bowman out there, and it's kind of like,
and people
what?
like offense more, especially at a school like
Exactly.
Oklahoma State where they've kind of built their brand off
Yeah.
on offense.
Yeah, and it's just like Oklahoma, right? Where the defense was just so bad for so long, where people were just kind of, even now people are probably like, well, it's Oklahoma, they don't really play defense and they've got a bad offense. Well, it's like,
Yeah,
no, Oklahoma can actually play some defense this year, but yes, the offense is bad. So
yeah.
um another point here, whatever they did in the first quarter last week, just do that for 4 quarters, and I think you can win the ball game, especially with Ollie Gordon in the run game.
Here's one problem: is once the chess match starts in about that second quarter, between the offensive coordinator and
Well,
defensive
and like
coordinator
you
on both
said the other
sides,
day, once Casey
Casey
Dunn gets
Dunn
off,
puckers.
once he gets off the script, hey, Casey Dunn, how about you script the whole entire game? Just script
Yeah,
the whole entire game, and you're good.
or just rerun the script. Just mix up the plays or something.
Yeah,
Like the plays you run in the script are great. The offense usually starts out pretty decent. Like even
yeah.
against Utah, they were moving the ball in the first 2
Just
possessions. Then
copy
everything
and
went to
paste
crap.
that down a couple more lines.
That's that. Whenever like I that by no, there's not many Casey Dunn defenders out there. There's maybe a handful in the entire state of Oklahoma of Casey Dunn defenders, but that's just all you got to say to him is just like watch the first quarter, and you'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, he's not bad. And then the next 3 quarters, you'll understand why he's not a good offensive coordinator because everything just stops, everything stalemates, and it just
Yeah.
everything positive goes to negative.
All right, give me a score for this ball game.
I think it's gonna be kind of high scoring. I'll go 34-28 OSU.
I'll go 42-35 Oklahoma State. So we got some points here
Yeah.
in this ball game on Saturday. So, all right, let's move on to Michigan taking on Washington. And the reason I want to bring up this game is, and right now Washington's a 1.5 point favorite at home against Michigan, the number 10 team in the country. But the reason I want to bring this up, T-Bag, is why is Michigan getting all this? I don't know if it's love or what it is, but they're the 10th ranked team in the country. They've lost one game, and you look at a team like Oklahoma, who has a similar loss to I believe Texas was number 4 team in the country. I think when they beat Michigan, Tennessee was what, number 6 or something like that. So
Yeah.
kind of in the same area. And they're both teams that are kind of similar, where they have a good defense and the offense just is not good at all.
I think it's because there's a few things right now, Preston. It's one, they're the defending national championships in
Yeah,
Michigan, and they're just going to get love. That's reality. Um, Two, the win over USC helps because
yeah,
I do think USC is a decent football team. I don't think they're necessarily a playoff team, but I do think they're like a 9-3, decent football team. And then three, although Michigan does suck on offense and they cannot complete a forward pass to save their life, they have at least found the identity to be able to just like run the football and make that their identity on offense, and it's worked the last couple weeks.
yeah.
So I'm with you. I don't. I think that's all going to catch up to Michigan eventually. I don't think they're that good. Hell, they kind of got jobbed last week against Minnesota. Now Minnesota still would have had to go down and score from that onside kick. So it's not like it was just completely, just a screw job. But they were in a fight with Minnesota to the very end at home. Um, and I'm looking at the notes right now, Preston. I totally agree with you. How is Washington favored in this game, though? Like
Yeah, on the
Michigan is
road.
better.
The only reason I can think is on the road, West Coast in Seattle. Maybe that they're thinking there might be, some, I don't know, jet lag or something like that. Even though I mean, it's going to be what, a 4 hour difference at max, maybe for them. So I have no clue why Washington's a 1.5 favorite
Maybe just
against.
the home field. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think so. But I mean, Washington's what, 3-2
Yeah, they're really not
this
that
year.
good.
So
They're really not.
yeah, it's crazy. How about Iowa State? Are they the best team in the Big 12?
They could be. They might have the best defense in the Big 12. That's for
Yeah,
sure. Um, yeah, I'm excited to watch them this week. I'm kind of gonna hop on the Iowa State bandwagon. If Oklahoma State can't do it, although this is a negative or unpopular take with Oklahoma State fans, is Oklahoma State fans do not like Iowa State because of some of the torture they have caused, specifically in 2011 and 2021.
yeah,
Uh, beating OSU when they're with the two best teams OSU's ever had. Iowa State was their one regular season loss. Uh, but I do kind of like Iowa State. I'm kind of just I would like to see them win it. I I, I don't have really any negative bandana towards the Big 12 teams, but like I'm excited for what Iowa State, and also I do remember I was not the only one with this tape, but everyone was asking like, "What's your sleeper team?" I was like, "I don't know how you don't say Iowa State." They went 7-5 last year, not great, but they returned to everyone. They played better towards the end of the season. They had momentum going into the offseason. They have a good quarterback, decent running back, good defense, good head coach. So yeah, I mean, I like Iowa State.
I'm kind of with you on that. Plus, anyone that can just has a chance to beat the hell out of Baylor, count me in on that. because I cannot stand
Yes.
the Baylor Bears. How about where College Game Day is going? They're dubbing this one Woke versus Coke. That is
Mm.
Miami taking on Cal out there in Berkeley, California. Game day is starting at a late 6 a.m. out there on the West Coast. What's your thoughts on Woke versus Coke?
I'm actually really excited for this game because I don't know what it is, but Cal is another team that's kind of won my heart. I never thought the Cal Berkeley Bears would be a team that's kind of won my heart over, but they have the Calgorithm. Have you seen this,
Yes,
Preston?
I
The
have seen
Calgorithm.
that. Yeah.
They all of a sudden have a very passionate and active Twitter fan base. So the Cal Golden Bears have just kind of won me over, and also I don't know what it is. I've just always been like this. I just don't like Miami.
Yeah.
All the teams from Florida, I don't know why. Florida, Florida State, Miami, and now even like UCF in the Big 12. Like I'll probably say UCF is one of my bottom tier, least favorite Big 12 teams. I just don't really like Florida schools, and Miami definitely falls in that category. So I'm going to be rooting heavy for Cal in this game,
I
and I love
will as
its
well.
9:30 start because then we have like
Yeah.
something to watch all night.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look, it's going to be a late game for Miami. I mean, you can't get a much further trip in college football than Berkeley, California, in Miami, Florida. So
Did you see
that is.
the? Yeah, I saw it on Twitter today. Did you see like the update of like the travel that the equipment trucks having to take for Miami?
I have not.
They're going all the way up from Miami through like the Panhandle, of Florida, through like Dallas and West Texas, and they were 1,500 miles into the trip and still had 1,800 miles to go, and they're in
Oh,
Dallas, Texas.
that sucks.
Yeah,
We
just
might have
having to
seen them
drive that
roll through
equipment
town.
van, and they're gonna
Yeah,
have to drive it home too.
yeah, that sucks. Yeah, they might have rolled through town if they're going up, unless they just went straight west all the way out there. But all right, yeah,
They could have.
I just saw that tweet, woke versus Coke, and I was like, that is actually perfect for this game. It's what is
Yeah.
it the Catholics and the criminals back in the day. There's Kyle Pitts. He's alive. Just made a big catch there for the Falcons. All right, let's get into some NFL.
Oh, game started last night.
How about our first London game? That means we get to wake up Sunday morning, we get to make our coffee, we get to sit on the couch, turn on the TV, and there's going to be football on at what, like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. What do you make of the Jets taking on I mean, in Fuego Vikings right now? I mean, they're on fire at the moment.
Uh Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting game because if the Jets lose this, I think it might start spiraling, Preston. I
They're
think
going
if the Jets have to
to
travel all the way to
that
London to lose a
Devontae
game
Adams trade.
and have a 7-hour flight home right after, I think this could be the end, the beginning of the end for the New York Jets for this particular season. The end of the New York Jets happened a long, 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 long time ago.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of climbing back out of the grave, but I think they might get shoved back in this weekend.
Yeah, right now, Minnesota 2.5 point favorite in that one. 8:30 kick time out in London, playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is the grass going to be fast there, or is it going to be a little slow?
It's going to be
What's your
slick.
read?
Slick.
Slick. Okay,
Yeah.
so it'll be slick there. Tottenham is that's not like the big stadium there in London. That's just like one of
No,
the okay.
it's
That's
I mean, it's one of the nicer cities,
yeah,
Wembley or
yeah. Wembley is
Wimbledon.
what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Wembley and Wimbledon,
Um,
I get them both confused. One's tennis, one's
Hell, they're
soccer.
all over there. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. How about your Chicago Bears taking on the Carolina Panthers? A 4-point favorite at home are the Bears. You still there?
Okay, yeah. Everything glitched out for a second. Okay, I heard Bears, Panthers.
Yes. What are your
Okay,
thoughts on your Bears this week?
must win. Another must win. I have two must wins this weekend, so that means I'll probably get mad at one of
You're
my
gonna be
teams.
fighting for your life, man.
This is a must win for the Bears because I still think the Bears can. I don't think I'm crazy in saying I still think the Bears can be a playoff team. Do I think they are going to be a playoff team? Maybe not particularly, but do I think that they can be in the hunt? Yes, and they have a schedule right now, Preston, where they gotta go at least 3-2. They have to go at least 3-2 in this schedule because the next 2 weeks is the Panthers and Jags at home. So those should be 2 wins right there. And they play at Commanders, so probably a loss. And they play at Cardinals and at Patriots. So their next 5 games, 3 out of those 4 next 5 games, or 4 of those next 5 games are very winnable. So I think they have
Yeah.
to go at least 3-2 here, get to 5-4 in the season, and just kind of stay a little bit above 500, get things going. So putting this in the must-win category, and I expect Caleb Williams to have a big game this weekend as well.
As Drake London gets into the end zone
Great for the
for
over.
the Falcons. I think their broadcast is messed up, unless that's my TV. Hopefully, it's not my TV because the colors are not working too well for this broadcast.
I'm
But
working
our
fine.
oh, that sucks if that's my TV because I'm definitely watching a black and white football game right now. All right, moving on. Here's a team that I thought was good, Teabag, but has kind of turned for the worst. That's the Arizona Cardinals. They're taking on the
Yeah,
Niners this week. I was so into the Cardinals, and I thought they were going to be good, and it just turns out maybe not.
yeah, they were definitely one of those teams that fooled us a little early in week 1 and week 2. They lost week 1, but they played pretty good against the Bills on the road. And they just absolutely destroy the Rams. But yeah, since then it's kind of spiraled over the last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah, and I mean, I think Kyler's still good. I mean, maybe it's just the defense there or something because I do think Kyler's still good. They still have some good pieces on offense. So
I think
I
there's an issue that it's the Arizona Cardinals with Jonathan
yeah,
Gannon right now and not good defense.
yeah, I'm tracking on that with you there on that one. Cowboys at Steelers Sunday Night Football. Pittsburgh 2.5 point favorites. I don't know what to think about this game. I mean, first of all, what's Russell Wilson's injury situation for this week? Is he back? Are they going to start him? Are they going to roll with Justin Fields? I'm trying to see here.
What? Well, okay, and I'm not asking you this because you brought up the idea, because you're not the only one bringing up this idea. A lot of people are, and I understand it's a possibility, but why would they go with Russell Wilson right now?
Because I think that people still think Russell Wilson is a good quarterback when he's not.
Yeah, I guess I don't think it lasts long. I think Justin Fields would be right back to the starter at least after. I mean, at 2 games
Yeah,
at the absolute max. Uh, I mean, and also just for like locker room purposes and stuff too. It's like
yeah.
the players probably know Fields is a better quarterback, and they also probably want Justin Fields, who's way more likable than Russell Wilson as their quarterback. So
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen though. I don't. I think Fields will remain the guy.
I'm with you on that. Right now, Russ is questionable for that ball
He'll suit
game.
up though. He'll suit up no matter
He'll
what.
be doing jumping jacks on. Well, I guess they don't have to
Mhm.
fly anywhere, so that doesn't matter.
We did our morning or on the morning animals this morning. We did our fantasy football with the listeners, and one of the listeners took Dak Prescott as their quarterback, and I almost was a nice guy and chimed in and be like, "You do realize they play the Steelers, right?"
Yeah.
But I decided not to because I was like, it's a
Let him
competitive
suffer.
world.
Yeah,
It's a
let him
competitive world.
suffer. Oh yeah, the Cowboys 2-2, Steelers. Oh, excuse me, 3-1. How about Monday night? The Saints taking on the Chiefs. I tell you what, 2 weeks ago, this looked like an awesome matchup.
I'm
Now,
excited.
not so much.
Yeah. This has potential, honestly, Preston, to either be one of the most fun football games of the season
Yeah,
or another one of those primetime just gross games. Because yes, the Chiefs are 4-0. Yes, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and yes, the Chiefs are probably going to be a top 3 seed in the AFC, probably a top 2 seed in the AFC. Yes, it's also fair to say that they have not, played absolutely amazing this year. They have found ways to win, and that matters. That matters. Like they find ways to win, and they're
well, and
not
now they're down their best receiver too because Patrick
that
Mahomes hurt him.
they're down. They're down to Rasheed Rice because yes, Patrick Mahomes did hurt him. Um, but if they come out with a good game plan and then the Saints find their offense again, I think this could be a fun football game. I don't think it's going to be, but I think it has. I'm going to hold out faith that we might have a fun Monday Night Football game.
Yeah. Well, I'll be
I kind of see the
watching.
Chiefs rolling.
I'll be watching while producing the Thunder game, just in hopes of Mahomes making another dumb decision and maybe hurting another one of his players. Not really, but that's just how I feel about Patrick Mahomes. All right, let's go ahead and get into our let's go ahead and get into our picks. A little short show this week. Let's pop up our picks from last week. So I was going to talk to you. Arkansas lost by 4. I don't know if we want to call that as a push or a win. I'm cool with either one. Doesn't matter to me.
It's called a win.
Yeah, we're needing wins anyway.
Because I'll say, how about this, Preston? Call to win because I got Arkansas 5.5 on Saturday. I bet
Gotcha.
5.5 on Saturday.
Gotcha.
So I think the line goes up 5.5. So we'll just go ahead and give you the win. Plus, we need all the wins we can get around here.
Yes. So we're each 5-10 so far through 5 weeks.
We've hit a third of our bets combined.
Although, look, if you tailed us last week, we did great. Okay,
yeah,
we did
true.
absolutely great. Even though we had one of the same pick and teabag mid-show last week, switches Illinois Penn State pick.
Thank God.
Yes, he
talk to me. It doesn't
nailed
usually
that
work.
one. Nailed that one right on the head. Baker almost threw an interception. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's give me your first pick of this week.
Yes, I am going to go with the Wisconsin Badgers minus 13.5 over the Purdue Boilermakers. I just think Purdue sucks. I think Wisconsin's kind of in a desperate need for a win for some momentum. The game is in Madison, so I like Wisconsin minus 13.5 here. Then Army, the Black Knights are coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, minus 11.5. I love Army this year. I'm rooting for Army. I have a buddy that went and played. Yeah, I have a buddy that went and played football at West Point. He didn't have to like medically retire, but being at West Point and battling injury and stuff, it was a lot of just like, this isn't really worth it anymore. Yeah. So he stuck it out at the academy. So he graduated from West Point and also half-ass West Point fan around here. So I really like Army minus 11.5 this year, or this game against Tulsa, and Iowa State minus 12.5 over those damned Baylor Bears. I think Iowa State's just gonna shut down that offense, and I think they're gonna. I mean, last week I got Iowa State, I think like minus 16 or something, and they won the game 20-0. So it didn't like look promising all game, but they never let Houston score. And so I think Baylor's offense is better than Houston's, but I still think Iowa State's going to be able to shut them down and win this game pretty comfortably.
Some big points you're needing this week from your teams. I saw
and I usually
that
don't do that. Too. I usually like
I don't know about that. All right, for me, my first pick this week, Michigan plus 1.5 at Washington. I
was that close to taking it.
I don't know why Washington is favored in this game. Maybe I'll find that out, during the game. But who knows? But give me the Wolverines. By the way, I was playing in my college football dynasty league with my friends last night, and I beat my buddy 51-14 with Michigan. So give me the Wolverines, just based mainly on that. My second pick this week, Indiana, the Hoosiers. They're actually pretty good this year. They're 5-0. Their head coach, I mean, one thing about him, he doesn't lose football games. So why the hell is he going to lose to Northwestern at Northwestern? He'll be playing on the lake there in Chicago. I don't think they're going to lose. So give me the Hoosiers this week. A little Big Ten football here for me.
We may need to have a conversation soon, Press, about Indiana being a possible playoff team. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that.
Look, 5-0, they scored 70 points. I don't know who they played, but it didn't really matter. Whenever you score 70 points, you're putting up 70. So
they have a favorable schedule. They still play, I think, Ohio State. Maybe it's either Oregon or Michigan, but they find a way to just win one of those games.
Yeah,
look out!
Yeah, that would be insane if Indiana
would be the best.
First. It would be insane. That's what we wanted with the 12-team playoff.
It sucks. It's a Big Ten team. That's
my last pick. Give me them damn Aggies minus 2.5 versus Mizzou. I don't think too highly of Missouri, mainly because of their fans. I also don't think too highly of Texas A&M because of their fans. But if this is going to be played at Texas A&M, give me the Aggies minus 2.5 in that one. So those are our picks this week. Fade us if you want. Look at our records. We're 5-10. So if you want to fade us, you can fade us. I don't care. All right. That's going to do it for us. Like we mentioned off the rip, go watch our video from Media Day the other day. That's out on the Sports Animal YouTube. Yes, we know the mics were bad. We try to do our best to fix that. But sometimes you can only do what you can do. And that's what we did. So, all right. We'll be back on Sunday to recap football. And hell, we can even get into a little preseason basketball because Monday night, the Thunder start their preseason as they take on the Spurs down in San Antonio. So we can get into a little bit of that as well. But we will talk to you guys on Sunday. Have a great one, everyone.